All right, the first transaction in our order to cash workflow is the create customer quote transaction. And this is optional because of the fact that you may not create a quote for every sale you do. You may go straight into entering a sales order if you're repeating an order, or if the customer doesn't require a quote, you go straight to sales order to set up the order. But in this case, we're going to set up a quote. So we're going to head over to the sales module and go to manage sales quotes. Now, as mentioned in the introduction, if you reviewed the landing page help file, that just helps you understand moving around in the system. You can use the bottom portion of any landing screen to search existing records, or you can use the buttons on the top of the screen to create new records. So we're going to create a new record in this case. You have the ability of entering a quote against a prospective customer. So that would be a customer that is not already in your customer master list. But in this case, we are going to use an existing customer. So I've chosen the salesperson, which should be Lisa, and the customer, which is WireWave San Diego. So let's go ahead and create the quote. So as mentioned, Lisa's the salesperson, Ashley will be the customer service rep. If there is a customer reference, like an RFQ number or something like that, you can reference it here. You can reference the name of the contact at the customer as desired. Now down here is the header text of the quote. Now this text comes in by default on every new quote. Your business administrator can change this default text if they need to. Otherwise, it's going to look like this every time you create a new quote. So let's go ahead and save that. We're going to go to the second tab, which is quote lines. So what we just did, the first is just set up the header of the quote. And now let's start adding a line to what we would like to add to the quote. So I'm going to add a line item. I'm going to choose the line type of fabrication or assembly. The other type of line you might have is a non-recurring service, so that's a one-time charge. But in this case, we'll go with assembly, and I've chosen this item number, which is a circuit card for this customer. And what the system is showing you here is the last time we built this was on April 7th, and this was our cost. So unit cost. So this is what the material costs for us to build it, and this is what the labor cost to build it per. So circuit cards, usually you're doing large lots. This is the cost for each. So now that you know your costs are $43.83, then you can set your own price that you're going to charge the customer based on that. So let's say we're going to build 500 at $145.83, and then you can put some delivery comments. So we'll say that this is going to be due on May 1st, and build per print as detailed on the customer purchase order. All right, so we'll add that line. Click Save. Now that we have a header record and a line item record, we can then view this document. So there's our quote. The system assigned a quote number to it. Here's the general information. And we said we were going to make 500 of these, delivered by May 1st. Cost to the customer is $143.83 for a total job cost of $71,915. All right, we've created the quote, so we're ready to email this quote. So we can go ahead and do that. And again, when you look at the customer master setup, you'll know that there is the option to add contacts to your customer. And when you do that, you can now send documents directly to your customer. So in this case, there's a customer record for WireWave San Diego, and Lisa is the contact. So we're going to go ahead and please review this quote and us know if you have any questions. Thanks. All right. And we're going to go ahead and send that quote. So anytime you email a document, as we just did for this quote, the system will send the email as the user. So in this case, I was logged in, and it sent it as me to the customer, and then it copies me. So now this document email is now in my inbox as well. So this allows you and your customer to communicate back and forth regarding this quote document. All right, so that completes the creation of a quote in BAP365. You obviously could repeat this and have multiple line items on your quote. You might have a service item, etc. You can add as much detail as you want, but as soon as the quote document is to your liking, it's ready to email to your customer.